Attention everyone. We wanted to acknowledge Ms. Rakshita Shankar for her research paper presentation in ISM Comnclave 2020. As she has to go early, she wanted to give her the award. Welcome back, everyone. We will resume to our ideation session. And the next speaker we would like to invite is Mr. Ritin Sharma sir. He is the founder and CEO of UPL Infotech Software startup company, and he helps consultant to go digital by providing user-friendly software, trainings, and in-house support to them. We welcome you, sir.
Good morning, all of you. Good morning, sir. It's my pleasure to be a part of ISAM Comnclave. First of all, I would like to introduce myself as I am Ritin Sharma. I am CEO of UK Infotech, a startup company, and its registered office in New Delhi, having the status of Patna itself. Currently, we are serving more than 150 organizations in Pan India. Right now, I am trying my level best to come in rehabilitation sector. So, for that particular region, we are planning to develop an ERP system for rehabilitation center. And in that particular ERP system, we have planned for around about 10 modules. First one will be online appointment as well as registration module. Second one is assessment module. Third one is timetable module. Fourth one is payroll module. Fifth one is accountancy. Then after booking lodging. Then after transportation. I suppose this ERP will help the rehab center to make it fully automated. I'd like to brief something about our modules which are going to implement in our ERP system. In registration module, first of all, when patients come to our hospital, we will make them registered with our organization. Then after, we will transfer that patient to the respective department for consultation and other assessment processes. In assessment module, we are having n number of assessment for different type of problems, different type of disorders. So each and every assessment tools will be available in our ERP assessment module. Patient has to actually the representative who is doing assessment of the patient, they have to ask some question to the patient, and their assessment module will tell them what is the result of that assessment. Then after we have payroll module, we have accounting module. In payroll module, we can basically manage each and every aspect of our employee. In accounting module, we will manage each and every segment of our daily entry to cash flow to profit and loss, each and everything which is related to accounting. Then after we will talk something about patient. Actually, we have planned to give our Android application for patient itself. Via Android application, they can access themselves anywhere they are. If they want to access themselves any point of time, they can make self-assessment also. Then after their parent, they will get automated follow-ups. So when they have to come for the therapy, when they are going to get next progress report, all these should be there. So this is a sort of summary for our rehabilitation center software, which is named by Mr. Satyam Mahapatra, and that name is Rehub, REHUB. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, we have come to the end of ideation session. We would like to call Dr. Nagendra Kankipati, sir, for summing up the ideation session. He is the founder and president of Telesilpa and UCA, serving as the president of Telesilpa for a third time. Since 2012, he is working as chief audiologist and speech therapist at his own clinic in Hyderabad. We welcome you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected chairperson of this program, Sir Satyam Mahapatra, sir, and all the dignitaries, all the legends, I can say, because you are all come here from various places for this conclave today. And I sincerely express my thanks and gratitude to Professor Satyam Mahapatra, sir, for giving us this opportunity to host ISAM in February 11th to 13th. We are very much happy for that, sir. It got very good name for Rasalpa and IHS as well. And before summing up this today's topics conclave, I would like to say my contribution to this field. I completed my bachelor's and master's in audiology and speech pathology from Swikar Rehabilitation Institute from 2005 to 11. After that, I worked as a clinical supervisor and a principal of the same institute, Swika Kadapa, from 2011 to 12. So after that, I just came out of the Swika and started working as a private practitioner. There, I found so much of this one problems in the field. Public don't have much aware about our field. They, first of all, respect problem is there. Many of the things are you are a great gentleman, you are respecting audiologists as like ENT professionals, but many ENTs, I am not blaming anyone, many ENTs calling audiologists or technicians at that time. They don't even respect the audiologist, they don't even care who we are. They just refer the cases to us, do this test, do that test like that. Even the patients are not aware of the thing. So by looking at all these things, we thought of starting an association to bring the awareness. Then myself and our Honorable General Secretary Dr. Imad Khan Ruman, we started Telangana Audiologist and Speech Language Pathologist Association, TASALPA, in 2015. In 2014 only, we got our separate state, Telangana. Immediately within the months, within the 8 months, we have started the TASALPA. From then onwards, we have been trying our best by creating the awareness, by conducting the free camps and meeting the officials and also ministers, everyone. Like that, we are doing our best. And also, as sir said, we have to definitely think out of the box because by looking at the lack of awareness in the public and all, and also when people are coming to us directly, they don't this one they don't take that we will just test the thing and put the hearing aid. The people's psychology, the normal human tendency will be any problem they want to rectify their problem with the simple medication. First, OTC, over the counter medication they want to do. Otherwise, they will visit the doctor for medicines only. After that, only repeated counseling only they will go for hearing aid. This is what happening in our country. So I don't believe in the referral systems what we are practicing in the India today. So I strongly against that. But without referrals, audiologists cannot survive in the present situation and then situation also. So what I thought is one of my friend is there. I underwent the training in the ENT about the simple oral wash and simple prescriptions for the basic ENT medications. After that, I underwent the private medical practitioner certificate also, and today I can proudly say our clinic is recognized under DMHO as a ENT clinic also. We are also providing services to the basic common conductive hearing loss patients like ear discharge and common ear wax removal, everything, and even foreign body removal. Many of the clients who are there in my surrounding apartment, our apartment is having 6 blocks, 250 flats are there, nearly 1,000 members are staying. Whoever is getting any simple problem, they first consult me only. Even our own relatives, they will consult me based on my suggestions and my this one referrals only. They will go to other specialists because many a times what is happening is when we are staying and alone in our area, when you are sleeping in the midnight, suddenly we may get call that my ears is having some problem, some insects gone inside, some cockroach has gone inside, some kids are coming with pencils or pencil nips keeping inside. So after studying the 4 years of BASLB and MASLB, we could not help the patients in cleaning the small things. But that time, if we say I will refer to an ENT, you go there tomorrow morning means how much of the strain, how much of the struggle the patient or the family member will go through. So these kind of things also we should think because such a Mahapatra professor he recently in the ISAM Conclave arranged a talk on the earwax management, and in that the guest speaker rightly pointed, even in the foreign countries, people audiologists are practicing the earwax removal, but the same thing is not applicable in the India. So this thing should be there in our syllabus because we are also studying the basic ear and nose and throat anatomy and physiology without understanding those problems, without treating the basic those things straight away. If we go to the inner ear, people will not accept. This is what is practically happening. And even when the patients are coming with this common simple ear pain, they may require the hearing aids. So these people are turning to us as a hearing aid patients, and these people are referring the hundreds of the relatives and patients again back to us. So one thing is we need to something we need to systemize our syllabus and change accordingly. And also, as today's speakers are rightly pointing, we need to develop our Indian-based books also. And one more greatest achievement what we have done is audiologists are being called as technicians only in our country. Even many a times we have been writing letters to the government, central government and state government. Even the AIMS, prestigious AIMS is calling us as ENT technicians. So we cannot keep on waiting for the government approval to change of nomenclature. By that time, government gives the approval, we all will turn into 50s or 60s and may retire. So that we have taken a bold step from the Tasalpa that all audiologists with BA SLP and MA SLP can write DR doctor as prefix with suffix as BA SLP or MA SLP. Like physiotherapist, even our own parent body has not accepted, but is it? But we are stick to our thoughts because there should be some change, there should be some out of box thinking, then only the profession will develop. And we have been implementing since last 1.5 years. We have not got any problem, and we are that kind of initiation got welcomed by all the members, all the MLAs, MPs, and all the officials. So this is what our achievement from Tasalpa and my side professionally and personally. Now summing of this today's conference, it started with our chairperson, Professor Satyamahapatra sir. He informed all of us that we should develop an Indian-based authors club to develop some research innovative things. After that, our next speaker will be Dr. Mr. Jagannath Chatterjee sir. He told us not to prescribe unnecessary medication that will be very big problem to the patients. And after that, Dr. Nivedita Jain madam, she addressed very well about the make in India, startup India, skill India, and ecosystem for the research, that is education, research, innovation for and industry. After that, she also addressed about the funding opportunities for the different projects we are going to take up. And after that, we have another speaker, Dr. Pratap Kumar Jain sir. He got some funding for a WHO project about 25 lakhs for research on the tobacco related works. And after that, we had our legend in vestibular disorders, our Dr. Srinivas Darsala sir. He developed two products and which got recognition from the King's College of London. We are very proud of you, sir, to have you here. And and he also addressed very well that as a researcher and as an entrepreneur, we must learn the computer coding, that is Python, Udemy, and all. And we should also encourage us never be afraid of failure. We should take failures and we should challenge the status quo. That is very well you addressed, sir. Another legend, our legend in the tinnitus, Dr. Mehboob Shanwa sir, is our respected Universal Association of Clinical Audiologists, UCA, Indo-UAE coordinator also. And he addressed about the soundproof rooms and speech therapy software, what he developed for cochlear rehabilitation, various modules he explained, and also tinnitus, high frequency audiometry, everything he explained wonderfully. The one point is one head step audiometry is very well, sir, very important, and it impressed all of us, sir. Thank you, and we also appreciate you that you are coming forward to Hyderabad to give this knowledge and share your knowledge with all of us in our coming up conference, sir. And also, he developed the software using the mobile phones technology. It is very well addressed in your speech, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And after that, we had our respected Dr. Ideation Chatterjee sir. He explained about the cognitive science and tinnitus related research, and also he developed some electrical stimulation vocal fold for vocal fold passive patients. Very good, sir. You informed that it is under construction. We hope that very surely you will get some all the documents clearance and you will give it to the public, sir. After that, we had our wonderful speaker, Sushmit Mishra, sir. He did research and research on adaptation of reading span test on the cognitive psychology thing, and he also tested working memory of Odia speaking persons, and also he explained about the speech spatial qualities. Thank you so much, sir. And also we had other speaker, Dr. Rajnikant Pradhan, sir. He is a speech pathologist, is working in various departments, laryngology, voice cases, neurological dysphagia cases, and also is working with aspirated pneumonia. He is very good in innovating his work. So what he addressed is, I didn't do anything more, but I am innovating my work. That is the very best thing. Work is worship. So we had another speaker, Dr. Ruben Juber, sir. Jabra sir, academician, is working on the prevention of deafness and hearing loss by using the biological tests like blood test for cochlear amplifier, and we addressed about the protein pristine, which is very important for the outer hair cells functioning. So it is very good, sir. We learned a new concept from you, and also we also addressed another thing that tinnitus treatment by using laser technology. It is also one of the good concepts we have learned today. And after him, we have another good speaker, Dr. Venkatraman Krishti sir. He is a gem, we can call, is gem in the AAC, alternative augmented communication. He explained that brain computer interface, so that we should interface our brain and computer together. So for the thought of speech. So, sir, you are a specialist in AAC. We have witnessed your talks many a times. Thank you so much, sir. After that, our another speaker will be was Dr. Roshni Pillai, madam. He addressed about the processing problems of speech processing problems of the normal hearing persons, and she also explained about the correlation between the hearing and vision problem, audiology and ophthalmology. It is also one of the out of the box subject. She addressed very well about the CAPD testing, about the dichotic test and dioptic test, everything. And she also stressed speech that about institutes of calibration. It is a very important point for all of us. And after that, we had another speaker, Professor Dr. Rajendra Kumar Borika sir. He addressed about the ways to do innovation, and reach how to reach the people by using the already existing research, how to start up the things, and how to use the opportunities, how to schedule our time for creating the innovations. Thank you so much, sir. As an advisor, you are always supporting to Kasalpa and Yuka. You are always guiding us in the right way. Thank you, sir. We have another speaker, Dr. Narayan Chandra Biswal. After him, he also explained about the development of standalone pressure therapy equipment for middle ear maneuvers in trypanosomes cases. So in his speech, he addressed about the how to use the Indian-based equipment for the middle ear manual things. He is one of the alumni from AISH, so he did very wonderful job. After that, we had Sarup Mishra sir. He explained about the caloric test, how his experience about the VH state, vestibular states, and the various manuals. How Dr. Srinivas Dorsal sir supported him in his innovations and contributions, and also explained about the chair for the vestibular maneuvers, and also he stressed upon the developing Indian-based impedance audiometry. And after that, we had another speaker, Dr. Ratna Kumar sir from Mumbai. He developed the speech perception in cochlear implant children in Telugu as part of his PhD work, and he also explained very well how to prepare PP words for Telugu in Telugu language. Very good, very nicely explained all of us. And the last we had Ratna Sharma sir, Ratan Sharma sir. He explained about the how to develop an ERP section for speech therapy software. And our professor Satyamahapatra sir is explaining, is supporting him very well by with the different modules, and he also labeled the term as rehab for the software for the rehabilitation centers and speech therapy clinics. So actually, we woke up today, sir, in the early morning at 3 o'clock. And the last night, I reached from my clinic at 10 p.m. But 3 p.m., 3 a.m., we woke up. But without getting all the stress, any stress, sir, today we enjoyed this conference like anything, sir. If we if I slept without putting the alarm, without waking up, no, I would have missed this great opportunity, and I would have missed all your legends, sir. Thank you so much, Professor Satyamahapatra sir, for giving me this wonderful opportunity and platform. And if you give us the next chance and opportunity, we are ready to host the ISAM 2023 also from our yoga, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nandini sir. As Ratan Sharma sir has to leave early, we want to acknowledge sir for his influencing message on industrial academia interface. I request Satya Mahapatra sir, please come forward and do the honor. Now we move towards the most interesting part of our event, that is the open house discussion. Now we have this session with our great minds thinking out loud, and they will be responding to your questions too. So if you have any queries or want to share your thoughts, then you are welcome to the stage. We have Aisha Jina ma'am with us. Ma'am has keen knowledge of rehabilitation researches. We would like ma'am to pitch your idea or to ask question if you have some. Good afternoon, everyone. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, I'm basically a roboticist among all the doctors who are sitting right here. And before explaining my background and everything, I would actually want to know what are your views on robots? Like, how do you view robots as? And how it can be implemented in your field, or how do you think it can be useful for you? So if you share me your ideas, so what I do is I basically do research using it's mostly human robot interaction, or making robots safer for people, or getting robots to public spaces. So I can use your ideas in making the research which goes to the people right now. So yeah, it will be really helpful for me if you come up with the ideas and tell me, okay, this is what is lacking in my field, in the technical field, and this is how robots can help us. But don't view robots as these big robots, as you see in television. Those are not actually the robots. We work with robots which are this small. Or even in medical field, we have the surgical robots. We have robots everywhere because when I started studying robotics, I had this idea, okay, I'm just going to study all these robots which are big and maybe the software and the hardware part. But then I had to read so much. Even I have read the books, like I think which you have read in Asians, Harrison, Davis, and all of this book. Because my friends were like, are you studying medical? Are you studying engineering? Like, these are two completely different things. And I'm like, no, if I have to go for medical robotics, or if I'm going for rehabilitation robotics, I need to know what I'm doing, what I'm addressing first, and then need to address the issue. So yeah, so it's kind of a basic all co-design concept where we know what the people actually need in order to do better research. So yeah, open to ideas.
So first, the reason why we have not made. I'm a surgeon, ENT surgeon, but I'll tell why. Like, if you don't see the robo in my ENT OT, why it is not there, and where is the place where I probably think that there is a hole, and it is for you to actually um, actually think whether it is doable, and if doable, what. First and foremost, what happens is the one robo that we know in surgeries, in operative surgery, is the Da Vinci system. The Da Vinci system is a huge system. Okay, you need a big room, okay, whatever, and then setting up, starting the surgery. There's a lot of things that is important. There is a certain amount of training that is required, and then you sit in a separate booth, and then you start operating. First and foremost, the cost is prohibitive. Number one. Two is like we don't feel that great being away from the patient. Okay, we want to be there with the patient. We want, okay, there is something more. Like it looks impersonal for a surgeon, like to sit in this booth and then the patient is lying on the table there and there is a robot standing up. Okay, it is not like the robots that are shown in movies. It is not that kind of robot. There are multiple arms that are moving and doing it. So that was Now I will tell you where exactly I see a role. Okay, if you can, because when you said micro robotics, small robots and all these things, we operate on the vocal cords, we operate in the deeper cavities in ENT, we operate in most whatever it is, deep inside, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 centimeters. You can keep going inside. The problem with instruments that we use now is they are all handheld. We can operate at different angles, but with the hand, there's a certain amount of rotation you can achieve. After that, you have to again get back and then rotate. That is a big limitation to what we can do. The morning Swarup was talking about a certain kind of rotary thing. Like when you see vertigo maneuvers, benign paroxysmal positional vertigo maneuvers, we have designed a certain type of maneuvers because in another way of doing it, which could be a more natural way. Example is, a person comes and tells, sir, when I'm wearing a shoe, I feel vertiginous. When I'm looking up at the attic, I feel vertiginous. But when you look at the book maneuvers, the book maneuvers don't look at the eye when you are looking down, don't look at the eye when you are looking up, or simply rolling in bed right and left. Most of the time, the problems are rolling in bed right and left. But we don't do that kind of testing. Rolling in right and rolling left, we don't do that kind of testing. Why we don't do that kind of testing or rolling prone, whatever it is? We do a little more, okay, not the natural positions. The reason here is when you say bend down, you can't look at the eyes. You can't look at this. So therefore, what we have to do, we have to make them lie back and bend over backwards, so that we can still look at the eyes. This is so the limitation of inability to look at the eyes is what led us to this. It led us to a certain kind of method. Like that, today the surgical approaches that we do, the way we handle instruments, all those things are designed keeping in mind the limitation of our hand. There's a certain only degree. The highest skill also, there's only certain degree to which I can rotate. So these things. Now with robo, you can probably achieve a 360-degree rotation, not one rotation, multiple times rotation. Probably you don't have to rethread it. Probably you don't have another instrument to go back and cut it. You can simply have something there to cut the thread after the first stitch is over. Probably you can place the knot there only. All these things in micro. So this kind of a robot to become very useful in surgical practice has to be something which is like handheld, like any other instrument, but still has those small micro motors which can take care of that. The other thing in my vestibular sense that I have, we use a secondary monitor to run a lot of stimuli. If you can give me a robo on which I put an LED and I can control the way that LED moves right, left, up, down, or whatever it is, that itself will be helpful for me as a company. Immediately, I'm looking for a solution like that. Okay, but charges have to be in Indian rupees. It should not be in dollars. The development.
I'll tell you something. When you was talking about that, we don't trust actually robots because we don't know how they're going to operate, or we are not sure. There is a big trust difference between humans and robots.
Did I say that we don't trust robots?
I'll tell you when did that point come in mind?
In your, but did I say that word trust word?
No,
We feel
because
impersonal. Impersonal. Robo is there. I am here. That personal touch is not there. We want to be with the patient. All of us are like that. Okay. We all want to be with the patient. That is what we are all about. Like we want to, because we feel the most biggest therapeutic thing of all the things that we do is our hand on the hand of the patient. Okay, that is the most important thing that we do. Holding the hand, our hand on the patient's shoulder. Okay, this is what our hand holding the patient's hand.
Yes, that is what I was just give me a moment. So that is what when a patient and the doctor's trust is being built, right? Similarly, a part of what we also do is we are also trying to build that trust between the person and the robot. Because it is not 100% trust that a person has for a robot when they are working in different kinds of scenarios. Okay, so that is when, and combining all this AI technologies and machine learning, even we sometimes are not sure what is going to happen to the robot. We have to go for rigorous testing. So I completely understand your point. And when you talk about Da Vinci robot, so Da Vinci is, how do I tell it? So that is the one that people actually knows the name as. But as the one you told, that one you can operate with the hand and can go inside the bodies. And the material through which it is made is called soft robots. And it is soft. I think, has anyone heard of soft robotics? So, okay, those are silicon type of things, and then we can make molds. Kind of the same touch as the human hand can give, not exactly because we will need so many senses and all. But yes, those are the things also we are using for robots in order to see how we can make the changes so as to give a human-like touch. And we do have smaller surgical instruments and not just having robot. There are different robots, but those are not being like put out to people in a way that agency has been got, because that is all about how you get into the market and what is the amount of money that you have. So yes, I'll look at your point.
Access to those smaller certificates.
Yes, a lot of those surgical instruments are used in research, but if you go back to the researchers asking for them that we want this for research purposes and to see how they are being implemented, yes, they will get back to you. Because I know, like people who I was working with also, they have been working on similar stuff. So anyone else wants to give an
And
idea?
last question. Can you develop a small motorized LED which can do right left up and down according to the program?
Yes, so what would be the purpose of that?
I just need to run an LED which will be like that we usually have in the for this.
Just an LED.
I just need a motorized LED or a motor which can move this way, this way.
Does it need to have a feature? Like, does it need to look like something? Does it need to be of any particular size? No.
Should be
Okay.
like
Should be
you
lightweight.
see this handheld gimbal cameras. Handheld gimbal cameras should be of that size. The motors should be of that size.
Okay, and the purpose would be just to follow your instructions.
The purpose would be, see, I just want to just run an LED on the wall. Okay, so I put an LED on top of it, and I do a program like I give you a sinusoid sinusoid. Okay, you have to. This is the angle of the amplitude, and this is the frequency. I feel that, and then with that, I feel the program everything. For me, the challenge is somebody who makes those small motorized controls, which I want for access.
How that is possible? Something, yes.
I agree that.
Sure. Anyone else has any ideas or any like inputs they want to give? In rehabilitation, assistive robotics, anything.
Mannequin based robotics.
Mannequin-based robotics. Could you explain a bit?
Now, here gets signal processing
Training, operational training, and other higher level training. So to have a robotic head, this came on, we are only using more or less money in acoustic research. Is there already is available in the market. So KEMA can be is already using in the hearing aid industries. So robotics is there. in the audio.
You will answer this question. You do. You should answer this question. Our robotic is clear.
So explain. It is there, but you can modify something like that. What I am facing in my clinical daily practice. Suppose one person is hearing loss, their family members are coming. Okay, we have a system that is called master hearing aid. Master hearing aid means suppose the hearing level is 50% hearing loss is there, and I am convincing that person that you have hearing loss, you should put a hearing aid. But the person is saying, no, I have a problem because the family members are talking to the residents. His problem is solved. So that's why he is not giving attention to the hearing aid. But the problem is faced by the family. So the family members are saying, go for the hearing aid, but the person is hearing loss, he is not going for the hearing aid, he is not ready for the hearing aid. So we can develop on something something one management kind of things. We will just put up here frequency of hearing loss, and we will just put some speech, normal speech, what is your name and all everything. So having from that, they can understand. Okay, now he's actually getting this speech actually, and we are talking the life. It's very good for counseling tools, and the person will understand. Yes, yes, this is the words actually I'm missing. This is the things I'm missing. So he will get idea that okay, I'll go for the hearing aid. That kind of things.
I also add in that. So, artificial intelligence, there are two modules there. One is data logging and another one is data learning. In artificial intelligence. So, in this particular scenario, what he is telling, we can compute something, data logging and data learning, so that all the permutation and combinations are there. Based on that, it will computer will select what is the actual appropriate selection will be done by the computer, the robot. So in that way, artificial intelligence can be used. That is one particular area.
Realize his level of trouble that he's facing. Right.
Yes, yes, yes. I like simulation, not stimulation.
Simulation. So would like to see mostly in simulating software where you can check first and then see if you can apply.
There is something is there, one model is there, model is there, and then there is a simulation. So simulation results may be there. If there are no artificial intelligence.
So how would this type of things be like on a very regular basis for the patients, or just one-to-one patient, or would you like to have a data wherein that will be showing, okay, these are the readings, and okay, this is how my patient may be improving over a period of time. But, okay, it's just
This is developing. So we get into it.
just a question. So are these simulation software that are provided to you user-friendly, as doctor friendly?
Yes. Yes.
They are doctor friendly. Whatever changes you want to do, are you able to go on your own and see how the results are changing in the body?
That research should be. We should have an evidence-based practice.
Okay, I think
What your ideas? Lots of also. Lots of proposals.
no, I'm allowed to forget to cooperate. Yes, I'll be using all those ideas when I'm working. And yes, it just
This
makes
is
the
being recorded.
process more.
Yeah. Because the origin should be right there, no? She got the ideas from okay. Now it becomes big. Part of the.
So it becomes more inclusive when actually. We aren't doing that. We haven't put robots inside house. And even if anything that goes inside the human body as a robot, I mostly prefer to see like if the there will be different aspects of it. Then I have to tell you what is the materials that are being used. It's different materials. It will depend on the person. What is the purpose? What is the length up to which the robot will go? What is the amount of space it can take? Then would we need any different types of cameras? So different computer vision techniques in order to determine okay something further would be happening. Do we have to inspect something inside the body? So it would depend on all of these factors and a lot more in order to determine what we are making or how we are going to implement it.
Transportation.
What is the mode of movement? It will be mostly human control. It will be mostly human control. No, it will depend. Like if you want till I am not sure if it is completely remote control because then we cannot actually know if there are any system failures or any system malfunction at any point in time. So it's mostly human control. Even if you're controlling the routing system, it is still controlled by human. We cannot make it completely remote. That level of AI or all of robotics we haven't reached at the point. It is still very much in research. Right. If you want to make it wireless, then you have to go into research and see what are the options that we need, what techniques we can use, look at all this research methodologies and pick up what is being feasible and then test it, like on application, and then see if it is actually working. Thank you everyone. So, do we have any more questions or suggestions? Anyone?
Exam writing group. Overthinking is also.
Okay, so with this we move ahead towards our industry academia interface. We'll have our great mind interacting for possible collaboration and some solution. I request industry star work, the entrepreneurs Dr. Srinivas Durasala sir, Mr. Mehboob Srinivas sir, to please come up and sit on this stage. Thank you, sir. Here is the house where academia can interact with industry. It is the industry academia interface unstructured session where we don't know who want to do what in the future, but here we are to give a helping hand. So it is an open house. We can interact and make this time available. Thank you. So you can ask any questions if you have, and the panel will give you your solution.
Sir, sir, my question to sir was, actually, sir, you have developed a nice thing that is Tinnitus therapy and all. What I'm also dealing with the data special so much like really good requests. What problem I'm facing, I have one equipment that is called tinometer. In the tinometer also, the facilities are given by Medrex USA. So they have also like one frequency check and the frequency check. After that, there a phase difference they are doing. That's you can change the wave morphology, parameter to be the positive of indicators. But my question is that many times the normal hearing with tinnitus, so many patients are coming with that. How we are dealing with those patients? And my second question is that if one person has profound hearing loss, completely profound hearing loss, but the tinnitus is like more than 80 dB. How we are dealing with those patients? I just want to.
Okay, regarding tinnitus, now those patients who have got severe to profound hearing loss, no technology seems to be okay with them because already the cochlea is degenerated. So if you increase the amplification, the sound comes out. So sound therapy does not help anybody more than 75 dB hearing loss. So for those patients who have got normal hearing or mild hearing loss, for them this technology is useful. The current technologies that are there in the market in the world is one is the neuromodulation, acoustic neuromodulation therapy done by Australia for neuromonics. They are the biggest people in the world now because they are taking care of all the Afghan returned soldiers, Iraq returned war soldiers, and they are having the Veterans Administration contract. The second is the London Tinnitus Clinic. So the neuromonics takes care of only filtered music. Their subject is purely filtered music. They say if you can relax the limbic system, tinnitus disappears significantly. The London tinnitus clinic takes the tonal pattern. Tonal pattern means it goes half octave upwards, half octave downwards. For example, you have tinnitus at 1500 hertz, it goes at 900, 1500, 2000, and 2500. That is known as the tonal therapy. The one which is in USA, that was designed by one of the cochlear implant specialists, Dr. Fan Gang. He was a biomedical engineer who was the engineer for the cochlear nucleus also. He has got this soft zone. So we studied all these things. I personally went and studied all the things, and we have incorporated 4 technologies, our own formulas. Now, how did we arrive at this formula? So we set up a team of researchers from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. That's one of the biggest Asia's biggest technological institute, where algorithm people were involved in the mathematical models. So we have designed a toner, we have designed the printed music, we have got the environment sound because each patient with tinnitus has different sounds. Some say I hear ocean sound, some say I hear the ringing sound and other things. So we have designed 250 calibrated sounds to fit into this model. The fourth is we have got the masking. See, hearing masking ends at 4,500 to 5,000 hertz. More than that, they don't go because hearing aid is not designed for tinnitus. It is basically a hearing loss instrument, which is very good for hearing loss. So we have, because I'm attached to many clinics here, where a lot of industrial noise are being worked out. We found that tinnitus occurs mostly in 7,000 and above hertz. And we have tested a lot of onco patients, those who are on chemotherapy, they develop tinnitus and high frequency loss, they're all above 8,000 hertz. So to satisfy that, we designed the pure tone audiometry to assess from 100 hertz to 15,000 hertz. And the same principle we use it for masking also from 100 hertz to 15,000 hertz. And also, we have got the tonal therapy also from 100 hertz to 15,000 hertz so that it covers up all the frequency range. So, tinnitus is not curable. There is no panacea for tinnitus, but there is management which is known as acoustic neuromodulation therapy. 30% of the tinnitus patients don't have hearing loss, so they don't want to carry any equipment. So that's why we brought our technology into a mobile phone so that it is cosmetically benefited. And even if the patient is using that for therapeutic purposes, nobody feels that he's using a treatment module. Okay, for severe hearing loss, no technique helps them because the cochlea is totally degenerated above 75 dB hearing loss. There will be recruitment and abnormal growth of loudness of sound will be there.
So I think there are some things in the morning that we when I was seeing that each one of you is personally doing something and probably proof of concept stage or something like that. And maybe when I talk about like academic industry collaboration or whatever it is, from that stage, how do you take it to a product? How do you take it to the market? Okay, so related to that, if there are any queries, also please do. Yeah. Or if something is related to how to patent, or should I patent, should I not patent? This kind of questions, if somebody has, please do.
Also, we have started, both of us have started almost, he has started 7 years back and I have started 5 years back in India. You are welcome to give suggestions to us and definitely being a software industry, we can definitely work upon it. For example, in the morning about that central auditory processing disorder, we can work upon a very nice solution in the software technology for addressing these issues, central auditory processing disorders. And if anybody wants to join us and work with us for the research purposes also, you are welcome to have these innovations done and we will provide all the necessary support in the future also. So this also point I want to bring it to the youngsters that whatever be your ideas, if it fits into our industry, for example, I am in the tinnitus and cochlear rehabilitation, he is into the vertigo field. So if something works out, it can be done basically because not you can do all the work in all the areas. It is not possible at all. Each field is independent, disciplined, and it is very large. We took about 8 years to develop the software. It was a very, very long time to develop the software. It's not easy because you will have to test, retest. See, red color we used for a boy's shirt. When it went to the autistic industry institute, they said autism children don't like red color. So we had to change the entire red color. Then it is not the role of only the speech therapist. We had to take parents into consideration. So we had more than 100 parents with different disabilities use the software for 2 years. Then we went to Chennai for the basic kindergarten teachers and Montessori teachers. They have the best schools in Chennai. So there the teachers worked for 2 years and they told what is the stimulation level for the child, what words he develops first, what he develops next, how the sentence formation has to be done. So there is a lot and lot of work. And since you are working in different structures and different areas, your suggestions are welcome and you can be a part of our team also.
Any questions? Yes.
I want to know a certain thing from you. There is a term now going on it's called metaverse. So what is the input and reason in rehabilitative medicine? How it will be going to progress in this metaverse thing? Because in foreign, it is being very much in progress, but when it comes to India, it will be like a stage. So I want to know your vision how it will be progressing in this field.
See, I have a personal bias against that Mark Zuckerberg fellow. I don't like him. I hate him from the guts. Okay. I know that this could be Facebook Live or YouTube Live, I don't know. But I don't like that fellow. Mark Zuckerberg. Okay. I think a lot of disturbance across the globe is happening because of him. Okay. The war in Syria, I was there in Yemen at that time, was completely engineered by Facebook. Okay. This Middle Eastern disturbance was engineered by things in Facebook. A lot of nonsense is happening because of that. Whether they did it knowingly or unknowingly, that's a different issue. Okay, so that is one thing. So metaverse, whatever was, is not going to be more than the actual universe. Okay, which is what we are all living in. But is it going to change to some extent? Maybe a shop experience, instead of actually going to the shop, you can get into that. Definitely that is going to happen. Okay, it's not that I'm not following what is happening in metaverse, so that is going to happen. So in terms of some modules of rehabilitation being delivered on top of metaverse, yes, what is possible. There's a lot of talk on AI, and so much about AI that is happening now. Let me first tell you my qualification to answer this question. I am University of Texas. I did a postgraduate program, 1 year postgraduate program in data sciences. Okay, I just completed, I topped the batch. Okay, that was last October. So I know where all this is. Okay, it looks the AI percentiles. They are telling AI will tomorrow replace human beings and that this and all those things. Here, I am trying to find out why my algorithm is not able to differentiate between cat and dog. Okay, so this is what is happening. There is a certain ways where they excel. Okay, in certain types of learning where they excel in terms of making AI to play chess, definitely. But there is never going to come a day when it can replace the clinician. Okay, it is never going to come. That is not going to happen. Same with metaverse, same with whatever it is. They can be enabling tools. They can be better. Like today, mobile phone is there. It is an enabling tool, but mobile phone cannot replace language. Cannot replace. It is just an enabling tool for the communication. Previously, you have to go there to talk to that person. Now you can call from a distant person, but still language remains. Okay, so these things are there. That way, metaverse may facilitate something. You may call it facilitation or you may call it shifting the paradigm to something else. Okay, but then what we are, we will continue to be. Okay, what we are, we will continue. Should you take an interest in that? Definitely, you have to take an interest in that. Because whatever new change is happening, we need to embrace, we need to take an interest in the irrespective of my own personal biases. You should be interested in that particular thing. So, will it play a role? Definitely, it will play a role in terms of giving rehabilitation. But then there is a limitation to it, and that limitation will remain for a long, long time. And for that, in the foreseeable future, at least, okay, if I live my entire biological lifespan, I will still not see a day when the emission is replaced. Okay? Did it answer your question? Anything else? I want more questions from people who want to start ideating, start taking the first steps, or probably already made something. How many of you have your personal bicycles? Yeah. How many of you actually remove the wheel, put it back, remove the chain, put it back? Yes. Okay, this is actual, our engineering starts from there, from the bicycle. Is that right? Okay, from the bicycle. That is the place where we are start learning the simple mechanics, okay, of the horse wheel or whatever you call. Why only the when you go front, the wheel pulls, but then the wheel is going forward. When you are when you are pedaling, the wheel moves with the pedal. But when the wheel is moving, the pedal need not move.
how that is achieved. If you go inside and if you see like even the simple cube, the amount of innovation that goes into making the air just go inside but not escape outside. So much is there in also. Just start from the bicycle, you know how what all things can be made. Okay. But I thought like okay, people are thinking of something that is troubling them, some solution they have come up with. At one particular point you are stuck. Please ask. If you still want to, I have intent to start, I don't know where to start, please that also ask. If there is a question, I'll answer. Yes, sir.
Sir, our decimal system is based on motion and gravity. So do you think that is there any way in the future or what are your thoughts using gravitational field to represent the
Honestly, the idea of just using a gravitational field to vestibular disorders, I have not given it a thought. Now that Venkatamana Pushki asks, I have to start thinking. Then it has to come from somewhere. Honestly, so far I have not given it a thought. Okay, so I don't have an answer as of now.
I have a request, like just now you mentioned something about patenting. So I just want you to give us an insight on how to go about patenting. Like I have myself developed these tests for visual modality testing and all. But how do we take that step further so that we can take it to the public from research?
See, first and foremost is your decision as to whether to patent or not to patent has to be done. Okay. A lot of academic, but then most important thing is that has to be protected in the sense there is going to some people can know I'm not interested in making money, so I don't want to patent. That's a wrong approach. Okay. The reason is if you have something really good and you have been doing it, but you have not patented it, tomorrow somebody else will patent it and tell that, and he can stop you from using it. So you are the pioneer. Okay. So that is a very, though you are not interested in money, though you may not be never interested in money, though you may be only purely academics, whatever it is, that is the reason for protecting your idea. So one way is patenting. The other way to of protecting your idea are making sure that you yourself are not stopped from using what has originated in your mind. Is that to publish off. Okay, two options. Either it has to be in the public domain. But once you publish, then you should not think in terms of a patent. So if money is not the interest, but if you choose to make sure that you want to patent it, most of the time that decision comes like that one. Okay, how much of a monetary benefit it is going to bring to you as being a holder of that idea. Okay, okay. If not, I would probably just go for an approach of just publishing it off. Okay, or if I can foresee that something is going to happen, maybe not now, tomorrow something is going to happen, let me protect it, then you can still go ahead with it. My personal suggestion is, it has to be like you and the patent attorney. Okay, I don't suggest you yourself to write your patent. There are a lot of patent attorneys coming up. Most of Nivedita ma'am can actually guide if somebody is around this place about, okay, in the incubation workshop, in the incubation center that they definitely have a patent people. We actually work with some two different patent attorneys companies. So let them draft it, but at every stage of what is the draft, okay, you be involved. Generally, if you don't get involved, what will happen is you give a very clean, understandable document. They will make a non-understandable document out of it. Okay, then you yourself will not know what you wanted to tell in the first place. Okay, it has happened to me. Okay, it has happened to me. So that is why that is one thing. So question here is whether or not to take the step. You should take the step of protecting your idea. Two ways: publish. You will not get money, but at least nobody can further stop you from doing what you have been doing. Other way, go for a patent, but work with a patent attorney, and there are a lot of people. See, in the beginning stages for the filing, for the initial things and all, the cost is not huge. It is only when it comes to the re-examination. At that time, by then, if you think, okay, you would have also spent a lot of time. If you think this money is worth spending, then you can always go ahead and do the next phase.
Yes, in the initial stages, what you have to do is when you begin your work, make trademark and copyright. It's very simple. Any chartered accountant or secretary will do it. Start with that, and then as Dr. Kaushal has said, move on to the next step. Without the copyright, you are at a big risk basically because you have worked for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and then somebody just takes the idea and steals it. He does it overnight. Okay, so at least go with the copyright and a trademark for your thing.
And one more source of available patents is Google, patents.google.com. Okay, you just write patents.google.com. One surprising thing that will be coming is lot of things that we think are innovative, super cutting edge. Oh, first time it came in my mind would have actually come to some 10, 20 people already, and there would have been a patent. So go there and read those patents. It will help you. It will help you in the sense you will be able to figure out exactly where your idea is different. If it is not different, probably you will actually start working on making it different or making a real improvement over the previous patent. So patents.google, okay, .com. Okay, Google patents, if you hit on Google, you will get it. So just go to that and whatever your idea is there, put in those keywords, you will start finding out so many other patents which have been there in that particular thing. That is also a very good source of ideas. The patents, already filed patents. Lot of people would have filed patents, but not have pursued, would not have pursued. They would have filed patents, but they would not have pursued the ideas. So you can always work on them also. Closer to your mouth.
I would like to say one fundamental idea of this. Whole day we are having our concern about the research and how to make it fruitful. And this idea of what combining all these intellectual researches and everything in one platform. Basic thing I would like to add is we need a vision. First thing is our vision. Then we will give that vision to mission. Then after that mission, there must be engineering and re-engineering of our process. Then only we can able to reach the goal. So the basic thing is we must have the mindset and we must have that type of vision. For example, the Newton's law. Everybody will think that food is falling down. This Newton who has seen in this direction and we can have the great success of the gravitational field. So in this platform, I would like to request that we must be motivated and motivate our new generations to have that vision of research so that they can have that type of attitude and they can have their own research and attitude. Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am.
Actually, our slogan is we vision your eyes, we hear your ears. So that answers your things that the motivation is there for us to look at it and also to understand by hearing, listening. So this has to come and this has to be there to make any research proposal go on further. Because idea has to come. Motivation has to be there. Without motivation, nothing is possible basically. Okay, so that is one of the reasons that why I am interacting with the people is come out with ideas. We are software technology people. They are software technology people. We can incorporate the things, hard software and hardware people. So we can incorporate anything basically. It is not that we have to rely upon like Dr. Speech comes from USA. We do not have to rely upon that. We can do the same technology. That was there 20 years back. But now we can do all these graphics here. Very well graphics can be done, very well hardware can be designed. We are the rest of the mechanical engineers and all these things. So motivation is a crux. Without the motivation, nothing happens.
See, there are two things I want to tell. One thing about motivation, I come to that motivation a little later. If you want to do something which is not even related to what I am doing, I'm not telling that you bring the idea to me that I will do it for you. If you want to do something, now in 7 years of this travel, okay, I have done so many things which would probably have been done more efficiently. For example, to get the best partner to do the embedded design, to get the best partner to do the plastics design, whatever it is, aesthetics design. So these are all, for me, it was a such effort to burn fingers, then relearn all those things. If you want somebody, I will tell you, at this stage you are on. Go to this guy. He's going to help you. He's going to charge so much. He's going to charge 10,000 rupees. He's going to charge 50,000 rupees. He's going to charge 2.5 lakhs. Most of this is the amount. You don't really need to go to buy rack, gear rack, or P3 and all those things. Okay. You don't really need to go. So whatever the government affiliate tells and big things are there, most of these things POC level, if there is a clarity in your mind, you can get all these things done for 2.5, 3 lakh rupees is what it takes. Only thing is the idea that is very important. And start working. If you are into electronics at least, if you want to, start working on Arduino boards. Okay, these are Arduino, ARDUINO, Arduino boards. Just open YouTube, just hit Arduino, you will get multiple lectures. 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 rupees, you can start making simple projects which you can start using. Okay, simple display boards, okay, whatever it is. It gives you a lot of control over what you are doing. That is how the innovation journey into electronics begins. Okay, if you are into something else, okay, like Sir Viman sir wants to do, he's doing zero markers and all those things, that is a different kind of technology. Okay. I don't have personal experience in that. Next thing is motivation. In the morning, I think you all remember when Nivedita ma'am was speaking, one of the things that she came into was a home voice prosthesis. I'll tell you the story of home voices. Vishal and me as classmates. We did post-graduation together. After post-graduation, I was in MS Ramaya, he was in other hospitals. Both of us again together joined, teamed up to work in global hospital in Bangalore. Something happened in Ramayana. There was one man who had undergone a laryngectomy many years ago, more than 10 years ago. He was a youngster, okay, but it's a very unfortunate thing that in a young man there was a laryngeal cancer and then the larynx was supposed to be removed. And then he could not speak for a long time. Somebody told, okay, Srinivas is there in Ramaya, he goes, okay, MS Ramaya is the hospital where I used to work. Okay, and he will make you speak. So I went, the patient came to me, we did the puncture, okay, tracheoesophageal puncture, TEP is called, and then put that valve. It's a unidirectional valve, that whatever process is, it is just a unidirectional valve. You place the unidirectional valve, the valve does not allow the water or the food to come into the trachea, but it allows the air to go from the trachea at a very low pressure, just hold it like this and you can start talking. So I placed that. And the patient was super thrilled because after many years after his surgery, he could not speak, now he was actually speaking. That those days, this particular thing that I was talking about, that it was a 6,000 rupees tracheoesophageal function, TEP processes. Okay, it was 6,500. Okay, so I arranged him. Unfortunately, what happens is around 4 months, 5 months, 6 months down the line, it goes off. And then you have to come back and take one more. The patient came to the one, at one point of time, after around 6-7 months of speaking, the patient came and it had started leaking. And then somebody told him that this started leaking, you need to change it. He was ready, okay, let us, I don't know whether he was ready, whatever it is, okay, it will cost another 6,000 or whatever. You know, generally what happens, patients don't know that these are meant to last 6 months or 7 months, and then you keep changing it, this is the amount of cost. And there is a commercial interest that comes, okay, of the person who has no link with the patient, who brings the equipment. He will tell 25,000 ka ek lagaya to zyada din chale. Okay, something like that. It is not. That is not the fact. It is not going to. Even that is going to be there. But then the moment something is costly, we think that is better. That will last longer. Whatever it is. Nobody actually questions them. So he was told, no, this will keep going. Go for 25,000. On that day, I was not there in the hospital. Probably I was there in the OT or whatever it is. And then this person had come. It is leaking. Okay, he needs to go. Whatever. Then I didn't hear of the patient. He did not come back. I don't know what happened. About a month later, somebody from his village had come, and then I gently asked him, like, what happened to this particular patient? And then he told, he committed suicide. On that day, he went back, and then he was managing after laryngectomy without a voice for many years.
After he got back his voice, to lose it back, and that the fact that he can't afford that was a big pain for him, and that kept me troubling me like anything every day. Me and Vishal are very good friends, very close friends. Okay, which Nivedita ma'am was showing you. Remember the processes, the 50 rupee processes, whatever. Those days in global hospitals used to be very busy, very busy days. Morning, as I told in the morning, 6:30 is the time, 6 or 6:30 is the time we start our OT. We'll be damn tired by 2:30. We'll be like, okay, just take something and then go for the rounds or something like that. At that time, you have to pull yourself, push yourself, whatever it is, to do something. If something, that kind of a motivation has to happen, it has to be, it not only, some people just have that motivation from inner side, some people get it because of this kind of events. You don't want another man to die. Okay. Voice is so precious. Language, we are all here. Why? Language. Whether it is auditory, whether it is speech, both is ultimately communication. Okay, because what brings us together is words, language. Okay, whatever. We may fight. There was one person who spent long time in a forest. Long time. So okay, there is a YouTube video, okay, survival, whatever it is. It's a huge video, it's a beautiful video. He tells for a human being, after some time he gets into crying spells, at least to argue and to fight, he wants somebody. That is all we are. Okay, that is all we are. So that motivation was there. So now to get up for Vishal to get up and go walk another okay 1.5 kilometer into the campus, into the engineering college, to have one person do the first initial designs of the prosthesis for him. This was there. That pain was there. Okay. I have walked with him. Come, let us go together. Okay, in the beginning days. And you know where this kind of help comes from? You don't think that all these big things come from big Stanford universities and all those things. No. The first design was drawn of this processes. The first drawing of the processes was actually drawn by a man who actually helps engineering students complete their projects. Every engineering college has this is one Barda will be there, will be helping them complete their projects. It was that guy who did it. He understood it immediately what exactly happens. And then the other thing that I told you, that we should never be bothered about, afraid of crossing boundaries or doing that, taking your step. Or whatever Vishal used to do, that in the beginning stages, the prosthesis would never be perfect. It would leak or it would be too tight. It would leak or it would be too tight. Finally, on one moment, there was one particular moment at which he got that brainwave flash. He said, there is nothing called a perfect fit. It is about knowing which side to err. Which means either err towards making it loose or err towards making it tight. Don't attempt the perfection. Whenever he was attempting the perfect fit, it was not happening. Then he realized it is a little bit tighter than looser. He got that. The moment that happened, the next model that was made, no leakage and easy speaking. So multiple things are there. There is a human story behind that. But now there is a next story to it. If you want to buy that processes here, you want to put it, you may not get it. You know why? There is the next thing that we should recognize, and which he has started working on now, Dr. Vishal. Now he has made it industrialized. If you want to give something to 50 rupees, India has the high, this doctor sees for 5 rupees, this doctor sees for 10 rupees. A doctor who sees for 5 rupees or 10 rupees, he must be a sannyasi. Okay, whatever. Or he has some other source of income. Okay, running his family. There is a dermatologist in India. Excellent. He says takes only 5 rupees, all the time only 5 rupees. He says good treatment. There are 200, 300 people lining up. 5 rupees. But then he has huge acres of lands, sugarcane fields. He earns from there. To keep things sustainable, to make sure things reach, you have to also account for, because it has to be available in a certain place. Tomorrow in your hospital, if you are to write,
to make sure that that availability is going to be there at the moment that it is supposed to be there. There's additional cost. The cost is not about manufacturing. The cost is not about manufacturing. Success, complete success is not limited to only manufacturing. Complete success is utility to the society. Complete success is utility to the society. For whatever reason, we may have an altruistic intent, but then you can't have it every place. If you want to have it, there is another angle to it. Okay, there is a certain distribution network to build, there is a certain awareness network to build. All these things are there, and then it happens. So he's now working on that. Okay, he's now working on that to make sure. So that will actually make sure that the cost actually goes up. It will not be the 50 rupees process is that it was made to be. But then there's a lesson learned, because what is the point in I having a 50 rupee process is keeping it in my cupboard, Almira, and somebody in earlier version wants it today to replace it, and he doesn't have access to it. So that is what is the next thing that is happening. So many things are there. For me, Cyclops Medtech, we make hardware. I need to make sure that I can pay the 10 salaries of 30 employees at the end of the month. The cost is that actually. As much as the marketing cost, it is that cost. Because tomorrow, if there is a question from somewhere, it has to be answered. If an equipment comes back, I need to immediately give back. So the sales that I do of the month goes into paying for the employees of the 60%, of 30 employees, paying for the further research of developing the next product, all these things. We have to give up this too much altruism. The very fact that we are making them in India is going to bring down the cost. Because if it is not going to be helpful for the society, what is the point? There is no point. We have to understand that. And unfortunately, what happens ourselves, one doctor is charging 1,000 rupees for a consultation. Somebody is for a 1 hour therapy session, he is charging 2,000 rupees. You start thinking, oh, commercial banda. Why, what problem? It is not like that. You do not think like that. Okay. You don't, yeah, if you don't see the value of it, but ultimately, and start, I will tell you something. This will begin with ourselves. This will begin with ourselves. If you are using a pirated software, stop doing it. Okay. If you are going to get a pirated version of a software, you have a pirated Microsoft Office installed in your system, you have a pirated version of some kind of this thing. Okay, it could be Adobe, it could be anything pirated version, whatever it is. Please stop using it. Okay, you know what you are doing it? You are not doing a service to that person, you are doing a service to yourself as a professional. Because our job, what we sell is our competence and our time. If you don't honor another person's time and another person's competence and you steal his software, okay, then how do you expect the society to actually respect you? As a society, we grow. As a society, we grow. Please don't do that, okay? Make sure you buy that 500 rupees, okay, 600, 700, it doesn't matter, okay? There is going to be value. Next thing is, why is India, there are two things in India that is having a problem. One is, the FCI godowns are full. The FCI godowns are full, Food Corporation of India, but there are people starving. There are people on the roads begging. This is where idea, whatever, innovation, motivation, whatever. Why should we even allow that? That simply says that our thinking is mediocre. Why are we not able to bridge that one small thing? That is one thing. So, providing sustenance for everybody who are born in the country becomes our responsibility. Providing sustenance, making sure that there is no orphan who actually have to not have to, there is never going to be a time an orphan has to let go of school. Why should an orphan not go to school? As a society, can't we take care? So that is one thing, do the sustenance. Next thing is making the country rich. The next thing is making the country. One is providing for everybody. That is one thing that we all should aim at. The next thing that all of us should aim at is making our country rich. Providing for everybody is this approach, where we make sure that what is there in the FCI model actually reaches everywhere and it is channelized correctly. That 10 people, 10 families with parents are there, which can take care of one family whose parents have died because of COVID. Can't we? Okay, that is one thing. The next thing is making the country rich. How do you make the country rich? First and foremost, Why is Germany rich? Okay, why is US rich? I'll tell you. I slogged my life. Okay, now I am 46 years old. I'm revealing my age. I put in a lot of effort to reach this particular stage. Satya sir has put a lot of effort. Satya sir probably is still not bought his dream car. You have not bought your dream car. Your dream building is this. There is a certain amount of time after which all of us think I have arrived in my life. Is that right? You come, you sit, and at that time you think that I can pamper myself now. At that time, if I think of pampering myself with a car, I think of a Mercedes, I think of a BMW, I think of something that is premium, something that is made not in India. Now, what happens because of this is my entire life's earning actually goes to make Germany rich. The best of our people's earnings goes to make Germany rich. What is the solution? Should we give up everything? No. The solution is make aspirational products in India. Make aspirational products in India where high-end products. A person who has arrived in life, he wants to buy something. Give him an option to buy something that is made in India. Okay. Should not be going for that. Okay, I want this kind of therapy. It is available in Dubai. No, it is not available in Dubai. It is available in Mehboob Shahnawaz's clinic here in Bangalore. That is how it should be. Okay, they go to Dubai. There are centers where they spend 4 or 5 days, pay huge amount of money, and then they come out. The money goes there. But instead of that, if we give up some of, take care of all the people. But at the same time, there are aspirational people, premium people. Don't allow that money to go out. Do a separate setup. Make sure that that person comes. Okay, this is what we do. This is how we become rich. So two things are there, and there is a lot and lot that each one of us can do to make this country proud, make everybody proud. Each one step. And please give up on this turf wars. Okay, they are done by all these small. Okay, this in animals tendency it is. In animal kingdom, there is something called this area is mine. So it passes urine. The lion passes urine to mark its territory. You don't get into this, that gangism and all those things. We are human beings. Don't allow that. You know the India's approach to the society, to the world today. We are not compelled to either take Russia's side or Ukraine's side. That is how it is supposed to be. We don't allow ourselves to be compelled to take any one person. How does it matter? Why are we? We are free. We are free beings. Every free thinking person belongs to us. Okay. Somebody comes with an aura. We have people coming from small institutions, big institutions. If somebody tells I'm from a small institute, he feels bad. That is bad. If somebody thinks no, I come from All India Institute of Speech and Hearing, so I have a crown. That is also bad. Okay, we are all here together. That is it. Whoever has that motive to help one another, go ahead. That is all. Give up on this stuff. Don't bracket yourself with anybody. Ultimately, one life. Live that freely. One life you have been given. Okay, that is it. I don't believe in the hereafter. I don't believe. Somebody believes, it is your choice. Okay, that I don't challenge that also. But I don't believe that. I think all the molecules that come to us were once part of the stars. Once we die, again it becomes part of the stars. That is all. We came from there, we are going to go there. That is all. Okay. This one life, one thing is free. Let us be free. Okay, that's all. Fine. Anything else?
Just request how we should go about it. Means if sir or you, if we want to make a collaborative research
Yes, sir.
or evidence-based practice or field study, because there
if as a government institute or Satta as a private institute, if we were to collaborate like DST and ICM, they are also, or there are so many private agencies that are also issuing funds. If we want to collaborate, how we can collaborate for the field study?
Yeah, as far as our software is concerned, what we have done is we have put our software in many government institutions and also in many other organizations where we give training and we supply for a period of 2 to 3 years to do any field work or research. Because we also need to know what is our product is. Okay, we have done work, but still work from authorities like you who have got a lot of experience in this particular area and field would also like to have the feedback of it. So we are always welcome if you write to us that we can associate with your organizations in giving you a diagnostic unit for about 2 to 3 years in order for you to run your programs there and also to ascertain that certain research comes out of it. So that we jointly work upon that particular sort of a research. Yeah, as a project. Suppose you would like to take up and study voice, or you want to study autism, or you want to study cochlear implant children. So we supply the whole software, and we also give you training online if it is nearby. Otherwise, you can come to our headquarters in Bangalore and get trained for 3 days, or we can come to your center as part of interdisciplinary approach and give you training and install the software. That's what we have done for about 5 to 6 institutions now, and we would like very much authorized institution like your institutions to come forward so that we can take up a joint sort of a research work and publish it as Mr. Srinivasan has rightly pointed out. It should be beneficial to us in the long range, basically. So any work that is done will add credence to the field and we can improve upon that. Suppose you give us a suggestion that this is what has to be done, this is the way it has to be done, we can definitely bring changes across. And we are open for it as far as our field is concerned. Srinivasan will explain this.
Sir, see, in terms of how we can collaborate, any kind of field, there are multiple things. Most of the time, you will be doing a field-based study or a college study, whatever study you want to do. From our side, whatever you want. One is, if you want an expertise to be shared, definitely we are ready for that. We are ready for that. You want equipment to be given probably at a concessional price, we are open to it. Okay. And beyond this, I don't know whether anything else you will need. Okay, if you want to maybe together ideate like what exactly can be done, we are open for that.
Regarding some commerce club or our club, can you just initiate that so that we can
Yeah.
use that will be the major goal for the conclave.
What I have been observing over this nearly 4 decades, most of these professional conferences are one-time activity. There is no carry forward. What you take from an event like this, is it just coming here for picnic and go back after the pastime? No. If it is a professional event, we should have something happening that should be continuing. The snowballing effect should be there. So if it is a small seed that is sown today for innovation, if some people are convinced that they can have the silly, stupid idea also can be shaped to a wonderful technology solution. It will not happen without mentoring, without support system, without collaboration. So, if individual brilliance has to be protected from dying away, the collective efforts is necessary. So, a kind of a club, not necessarily we need to go for a legal registration, but it can be a informal club going ahead with a common cause. Maybe some people within the group itself helping each other, getting something connected to funding or getting connected to a laboratory, getting connected to some publication house or any such things. if we can help each other, the Innovators Club, ISAM Innovators Club can be formed itself and will take it forward. Answer? Okay. From IHS, I thought one young professional should be given the responsibility that that person should call everybody and say, please be part of it, and how we can keep the movement going. So the innovation should happen. And yeah, Mansa, please. That is Mansa Parva. And she has been asked to take the responsibility of ISAM Innovators. So the ideas, whatever you have, you can share, suggest how we can make it more effective, how the communication can spread among the people, and how the collaboration can happen. If you have something nearly achieving a patent, perhaps the manufacturing or the production can be given to somebody. How that can happen? So let us help each other and make India great. The other part, what I was talking about is authors club. We need to write books. Fundamentals of Audiology was a book scripted by Sudhir Bhanusuri. My students, they used to say, sir, so many books, please suggest which specific book to read so that I can get the input. Uh, one specific book for RCI syllabus, there was. Okay. So Sudhir Bhanu was asked, can you write a book? He said, sir, there are so many academic institutions, so many assistant professor, associate professor, grad people. Why don't you ask them? I said, they are lost cases. They are lost in the stereotypes. They cannot come out of the stereotype and make something different. You are different, so you can understand the real need of the real world. The student's need is one book, he can have an overview and he will understand the audiology. Extra bit is always there. So that book was well received. Whoever read it and definitely exclaimed, it's a wonderful book. So there are so, sir,
I also read.
yes.
If I punch it in Vishwanath.
So there are so much of such possibilities. Why not help each other to create an authors club, ISAM authors club, so that the books should be written by Indians, not limited to only Indian professionals, or it should be reaching out to the world. Like you said, it is made in India, not limited to be used in India, but for the world. So world class authors are perhaps right now sitting in this audience. Yeah, of course, there is always a such possibilities. So I said one innovators club and one authors club can be created under the ISAM banner. ISAM itself is not registered. So the membership of ISAM, the International Society for Radiological Medicine, will be without any charges. Let's continue to be together without the commerce. And there are always ways and means to cover the expenditure required for such events or activities. Let's think out of the box. So,
Definitely we will contribute, sir.
thank you very much.
And one more thing is like when it comes to authorship, maybe I have never told this anywhere else before. there is a change that should come about sooner than later. The way things are being taught now, especially after the pandemic has changed, we feel much better listening to a video, going through a demo, and then learning something, somebody explaining on a board or whatever. When we come up with these books, when we come up with multiple authorships or whatever it is, if we can actually make this as one of the suggestions that I have is that when you write the book, you also have a recorded lecture of that particular chapter. Now, what happens is there are two ways the person can go through it. A lot of people find it very difficult to actually follow the written word, but they find it very easy to listen to you. The same words, same thing, everything same. But then the flow of thought that is going on in the writer's mind is better conveyed in a video format then. So whenever we write these books, what is this person trying to do? What exactly is trying to convey? That doubt comes. But if you actually listen to the same person actually taking a class on the same subject, on the same chapter, then things look super simple. So what happens now is we have in every chapter that we write, there can be a QR code. What the person has to do, just scan the QR code, it opens a Google Drive link. Okay. That Google Drive link you have in your, anybody with that link can view that video and it just opens up. And then that video comes. Okay. So now what happens? In that book only it is there. The QR code is there, everything is there. There is no need to type. Typing is little difficult. But then you just scan, open, listen to the lecture. Otherwise, you prefer. Everybody, generally our preference is we want to listen to the lecture and still have notes to review. So it will have both. So you would have listened to the lecture, understood what the person is telling, and then to remember you have access to the same person's written word, so that becomes a. So maybe if it is okay, we can make that as a structure, and that what happens is that can become like the ISAM model. ISAM model of writing, like everybody tells about. Like for example, we have the Harvard type of writing the references. We have the Vancouver style of writing the references. We can have the ISAM model of writing chapters. You can just define it up and send as a publication that itself. ISAM model, and this is how it is done. ISAM model has a written word, as a recorded video lecture, and a certain notes, and a quiz. These four things become the ISAM model of writing chapter. That can be the first contribution of the authors club authority. So innovation is coming, huh?
So with this, we come to the end of this session. That was very thoughtful of you, sir. I request the dignitaries to please take back their seats.
Go back.
No, sir.
Can we have a big round of applause? So this is the hardware tester. Now they have to take a hold of the image that constantly remind them of the mission they have to fulfill. The trophy. The trophy is the symbol of your commitment, of your dedication in research and innovation. For the award distribution, I would like to request Professor Satyam Mahapatra sir to come forward and please do the honor. I would like to call Srinivas Dorkala sir, as we want to acknowledge sir for being the resource person in ISM 2022 for his talk on vestibular migraine and industry academia interface.
I think Sir was inspired by 1983 weekend World Cup.
Give a big round of applause. Next, we want to call upon Mr. Mehboob Shenawaz sir. We want to acknowledge sir for his influential message on industry, academia, and ethics.
Jitendra Chatterjee sir, we want to acknowledge sir for his influential speech on research and innovations. Thank you, sir.
The next, we would like to call Dr. Pratap Kumar Jena sir. We want to acknowledge sir for his influential speech on research and innovation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Satya, sir. I would like to request Mr. P6 Sahu, sir, the president. Next, we would like to call Dr. Ingrid Chatterjee, sir, and also acknowledge sir for his influential speech on research and innovation.
And next, Dr. Rajendra Kumar Korika sir. We want to acknowledge sir for being the host and resource process in ISAM 2022 for his talk on tinnitus handicap inventory and its clinical implications. And he is the moderator in ISAM 2022 and editor of Indian Journal of Audiology and for his research paper presentation on hearing impairment and daily life fatigue.
Now we would like to call Dr. Rajnikant Pradhan, sir, as we would like to acknowledge sir for being the editor of Indian Journal of Communication Sciences. Can we give a big round of applause for sir?
The next we have Mr. Venkatraman Krishna sir. We want to acknowledge sir for being the judge of oral research paper presentation in ISAM Audiology Conclave 2022.
Dr. Ruben Jebra, sir, we want to acknowledge sir for being the judge of oral research paper presentation of ISAM Audiology 2022.
Next we have Dr. Nagendra Kampapati sir. We want to acknowledge sir for being the host and moderator in ISAM 2022.
Dr. Imad Khan sir, as we want to acknowledge sir for being the host and moderator of ISM 2022.
Next, we have Dr. Roshni Pillai. We want to acknowledge ma'am for giving her insight on research and innovation.
Ms. Rajadashmi, we want to acknowledge Ms. Rajadashmi for her research paper presentation in ISM Audiology Conclave 2022. Mr. Naresh Chowdhury sir for participation in ISM Conclave. We will wait for a few minutes. Next, I would love to call Ms. Subhasmita Sahu ma'am. We want to welcome Subhasmita Sahu ma'am for participation in ISM Research and Innovation, and she is the senior person of ISM.
She is the chairman of our ideation.
Mr. Van Sir for participation in ISM Conclave. Mr. Sarup Kumar Mishra sir for participation in ISM Conclave.
Next, we would like to call Mr. Narayan Chandra Vishwal sir for participating in ISAM Conclave 2022.
Now we would like to call Ms. Aisha Jina ma'am for participating in ISM Conclave 2022.
She is the future of this innovation.
Next, we would like to call Mr. Sheikh Mirza for participating in ISAM Conclave 2022.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, for both of us, I would like to call our principal, Dr. Santa Mishra ma'am. She has done PhD and DLA from Dhaka University. Can we give a big round of applause for ma'am?
जानामि धर्मं न च मे प्रवृत्ति जानामि अधर्मं न च मे निवृत्ति त्वया ऋषिकेश सुते स्थितेन तथा निवृत्तोऽस्मि तथा करोमि. Good evening, everybody. With these holy words of Bhagavad Gita, I would like to start this Thanksgiving ceremony of ISAM Conclave. You know, research is the mirror of the mission. Research always leads to have success in the all types of achievements in a research. Research leads to rich in perfection, and research enhances the creativity. With these objectives, our directors are Dr. Satyam Mahapatra has innovated this idea, and this conference is the outcome of that particular idea. You know, thank you is the words which cannot be seen, which cannot be touched, but it can be felt. And generally, after completion of the session, there is no mood to listen about these words. But I have to say, and I will say, from the very outset, I would like to thank our advisory committee and organizing committee who has given their constant effort to reach this point. I also like to give thanks to all the delegates who have ornamented the session, who have ornamented the particular conference, and for whom only this conclave is successful. Each of them have imparted so important, so generative ideas, so important things, their research findings. Within this short period of 5 minutes, I cannot say. Very well, Nagendra sir has described each and every point of their presentation. I must thank the students who are devoted their valuable times to make this conclave successful. I must thank these two beautiful girls who have performed their function as anchors so well. With this, I must also thank to the faculties and the Subhasmita madam, Nalini madam, Pusma madam. Their role in achieving the success of this conference is much more which cannot be explained in words. I must thank each and every one of our IHS who have participated, who have contributed, and who have done a lot of things to make this conference successful. Last but not the least, the hero of this institution, the great thanks to our director, Professor Satyam Mahapatra. Only from whom we can have this conference and we can have all these manthan. And I think this conference has given you much more innovative idea, and we can place research, innovation, and entrepreneurship in one platform. Many more things have been analyzed and many more objectives also we have found. We have also analyzed how to do several groups and how to progress this particular ISA. And I hope all of you will help in this context. Again, thanking you all, one and all, who has contributed to the occasion, who have present in this, who are present in this occasion, and who have explained, who have contributed, who have spent their valuable time to sit here, to sit here. Without the listeners, there will be no meaning of independence. So thanking you all again.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. Now is the time we have our Desalpa team members who want to borrow a few moments of this event. Please come upon the stage, sir.
I request our General Secretary, Honorable General Secretary, Dr. Imad Khan Ruman, to say a few words about our organization and how we collaborated with ISAM, please.
Hello everyone. Thank you sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity. So first of all, we would like to congratulate everybody for successfully concluding ISAM Conclave and also February the 12th and 13th event. So on behalf of TASALPA and UCA, Universal Association of Clinical Audiologists, we would like to congratulate all the delegates. So we also want to felicitate Dr. Satya Mahapatra sir. So we welcome you, sir. Please come here.
We would like to present our newsletters. He is our Dr. Professor Dr. Rajendra Kumar Porika sir is our chief editor for this Kasalpa newsletters. We are presenting these two newsletters to Professor Satya Mahapatra sir to keep these in his office and also in the library. Thank you.
Now I call upon Subhashmita. Please wait for some time. We have some felicitation for you also for being hard work and backbone, strength of this program. I request our President Garu to and General Secretary to felicitate Subhashmita. This is credit to her work, dedication, passion, and continuous effort which she has kept. So it's honoring our own self, seeing her hard work. Thank you. Thank you very much, Subhashmita. The future of the profession is in the right hands. Their energy, enthusiasm, commitment, dedication, unparalleled. Tasalpa team, not only just you hosted the event and even made this one successful, you are taking over. So you are inheriting, and that's what I've been waiting for. There has to be a transition from the older generation to the younger. So now I can sleep happy. Sir is model for us in terms of energy, positive energy, and he works. One more great person is here out of age and criteria. Babu Sambal sir, I really bow my head for you because your energy level, our energy level, we have to just follow that. That's all youngsters, it is all possible. You are seeing our next generation, our older generation, to our senior generations, three generations you are seeing. You take inspiration from them and lead successful career. Then, sir, as said by, as asked by you and our honorable president also agreed to that. We will extend support in terms of innovative work, research work club, and also what are the next upcoming what you call tasks or aims which we will do. We will try to do that with all good intention. Thank you, each and every participant here, delegates, and all the teamwork, team committee members, and as well as all the students, because it is not easy to sit and learn this many things. We really appreciate you. Thank you for all of you for giving us opportunity, sir. Thank you once again. Thank you, each and everyone.
Yeah, one more important announcement. We are going to conduct our third Kasalpa Con, international level RCI approved CRE conference, physical mode, not online mode, on 26th and 27th March, this 26th and 27th, not this Saturday, this coming Saturday and Sunday, weekend of this March. We request and we invite the respected Professor Satyamahapatra sir and all the IHS team and students to this conference, which is going to held in Hyderabad JNTU campus. The registration details, everything will be available in our website. You can log into www.casilpay.com and register yourself. And please extend your kind support and cooperation to our conference. And we are very grateful to you, sir, because you would believe, sir, more than 100 members plus IHS alumni have registered in Kasalpa as life members. We sincerely thank all the IHS team, alumni, and the professors and faculty for registering as Kasalpa life members and as well as Yuka life members. We thank you so much, and also we want you to see at our conference in this 26th and 27th March. Thank you so much. We welcome our respected Dr. Srinivas Darsara sir also to the conference, and our Indra Chatterjee sir and all the respected delegates over here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to announce the best audiology oral paper presentation, which was held on last month. Goes to first for audiology goes to Miss Yasha, Mr. Arjisman, and Arun Kumar. And for speech, the best paper goes to Mr. Abhishek Vitti sir, Apriti Kumar, and Hema Nair. Thank you. That concludes a remarkable memory and knowledgeable event. The Conclave 2022, we promise you all that next year we will enter in the field with some more innovative ideas and to nourish your mind. On behalf of the Institute of Health Sciences, we promise you that this may be the end of today's session, but unforgettable, and this will be a new beginning. Thank you so much.